Stoics say that we can't change things outside of our own lives, like other people's actions or events. The only things we can change are our own thoughts, choices, and actions. So, they say, we should focus on what we can change and accept what we can't, with calmness and balance. One of the main goals of Stoicism is to get rid of negative feelings like anger, fear, envy, and lust that make us act irrationally and disturb our peace of mind. Stoics say that these feelings come from having wrong or illogical ideas about what is good and bad. They say that we can get rid of these feelings by looking at our beliefs and changing them. One area of life where Stoicism can help us is our interactions with other people, especially those of the opposite sex. Stoics believe that we should treat everyone with kindness, fairness, and respect, no matter what gender they are or where they come from. However, they also warn us about the dangers and temptations that can come from our sexual desires and attachments, and tell us to be very careful when dealing with women. We will talk about a part of Stoicism that is especially important for guys in this video: what a guy should never tell a woman. This might sound weird or even sexist, but it's not. It comes from the Stoic view of human nature and the role of men and women in society. It also comes from the Stoic ideal of self-mastery, which says that we should be quiet and humble about certain things. So, what are these things that a man should always keep from a woman? Here are 8 of them. Number 1. His weaknesses. The Stoic theory says that a Stoic man follows a set of timeless rules that help him deal with problems and weaknesses in his life. One important idea behind Stoicism is that the only way to really know someone is by seeing how they handle problems that come up in their weak areas. A Stoic man resists the urge to complain or find comfort in acknowledging his pain. One important part of the Stoic philosophy is the idea of bearing everything with Stoicism, which is a word that includes traits like endurance, fortitude, patience, forbearance, and resignation. That doesn't mean hiding your feelings or saying you don't feel pain. It means facing these problems with a clear head. Stoicism teaches that an individual can't change the outside situations they find themselves in, but they can choose how to react to those circumstances. Stoic men don't try to get sympathy or pity from others, not even from their closest friends and family like their lover or wife. Instead, they draw on their own strength and resolve, knowing that one's own strength is what makes them strong. Stoicism emphasizes being self-sufficient and building an inner strength that doesn't depend on outside approval or statements of sympathy. This is different from what most people think, which says that showing weakness and asking for help is a sign of strength. Stoicism gives us a different view. The Stoic man knows that suffering in silence has power, not just for the sake of being stoic, but also for building a strong and calm spirit. This silence is not an emotionless hiding of feelings, but a choice to face problems with an unwavering inner strength. Importantly, the Stoic man doesn't let his flaws hurt his confidence or self-esteem. Instead, he sees these flaws as chances to grow and get better. In the Stoic view, every challenge and hardship is a chance to become a stronger, more moral person. It is by admitting his flaws that the Stoic man finds the raw materials for his own transformation. The Stoic life is a never-ending journey of self-discovery. One of the most important things for a Stoic man is meeting life's uncertainties with poisoned inner strength. This is because the world is full of chaos and unpredictability. One thing that the Stoic man showed is how powerful a trained mind and an unbreakable spirit can be. Stoicism is an old theory that stresses things like self-discipline, logic, and building up your inner strength. It's important to understand Stoic ideas in a more complex way, even though it may be tempting to do so in a rigid or gendered way. Stoicism doesn't say that people should hide their flaws from other people because of their gender. In its place, it tells people to be honest about their flaws and work on getting better. Stoicism is not about hiding parts of yourself. It's about growing and developing as a person. Also, Stoicism values being honest and real. It goes against these beliefs to try to hide your flaws from other people, especially women. Stoicism instead tells people to accept their weaknesses and work hard to get past them with courage and strength. People who believe in Stoicism think that both men and women can seek virtue and live by Stoic ideals. Stoic thought doesn't agree with the idea that men should hide their weaknesses from women. Overall, Stoicism tells everyone, regardless of gender, to accept themselves as human, flaws and all, and to always try to get better in every part of their life. Number 2. His mistakes. Stoic philosophy has a very insightful and instructive way of dealing with mistakes, especially when looking at the relationship between a man and a woman. From a Stoic point of view, mistakes are not just oversights or errors. They are seen as important steps on the way to becoming wiser and bettering oneself. So, a Stoic man handles his mistakes with a mix of respect, hard work, and learning from his own mistakes. One important part of the Stoic view on mistakes is not telling everyone about them, especially women, in a way that could be seen as a sign of ignorance or foolishness. This view is not about hiding one's flaws out of shame or fear, but because they believe that mistakes are opportunities to learn. As a conservative, the man knows that talking about his mistakes might not always make things better in a relationship or conversation. Being humble and working hard are good traits that help you deal with mistakes. A Stoic man knows that everyone makes mistakes, but he doesn't take them lightly. He gives his tasks and decisions a lot of thought and consideration, which makes mistakes less likely. But when they do happen, he doesn't avoid them. Instead, he sees them as chances to grow and improve himself. Stoics believe that the best way to grow is to learn from your mistakes. The Stoic man thinks about his mistakes not out of shame or guilt, but with a clear and logical mind, trying to figure out what went wrong and what lessons can be learned from them. This process of self-reflection and analysis is essential for turning mistakes into valuable life lessons that make it easier to handle similar situations in the future with more wisdom. The Stoic man also works hard to fix his mistakes. He knows that getting better is an ongoing process that needs steady work. He doesn't let his mistakes define him. Instead, he uses them to make positive changes and improve himself. One more important Stoic concept is to take responsibility for your mistakes. Stoics don't play the blame game by blaming others or themselves. Instead, they take responsibility for their actions and the results of those actions, and they focus on how they can fix the problem and avoid making the same mistake again. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said it best when he said that what bothers us is not the things that happen to us, but how we feel about them. To sum up, this deep statement supports the Stoic view that how we see and respond to events, including our own mistakes, determines how they affect us. Stoics deal with mistakes in a way that is full of respect, learning, and taking responsibility for oneself. He doesn't try to hide his mistakes. Instead, he views them as chances to grow and develops his inner strength and knowledge by following the Stoic virtues. He goes through life with a better understanding and a promise to keep getting better. Number 3. His dreams. The Stoic view on dreams and goals comes from a philosophy of realism, pragmatism, and self-sufficiency. Because of this, the Stoic man handles his dreams with a unique mix of groundedness and focus, avoiding vanity and delusion. This philosophy affects how he interacts with others, especially with women. From a Stoic point of view, dreams and aspirations are not to be confused with silly illusions or unattainable fantasies. Instead, they are seen as meaningful pursuits that are in line with one's values and abilities. Because of this, a Stoic man is careful not to tell others about his goals out of privacy, but to avoid falling into the trap of vanity and the need for approval from others. This reserve doesn't mean I don't want to achieve things. It's just a reflection of the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control and affect. Having dreams isn't motivated by wanting to be noticed or liked by other people, like a love partner. The Stoic man follows his inner compass and seeks happiness and fulfillment through personal growth and the achievement of goals that are in line with his true self. He knows that wanting approval from others can disappoint and take away from real self-improvement. This way of thinking about dreams is related to the Stoic practice of concentrating on tasks and attainable goals. The Stoic man focuses his energy on goals that he can reach and uses his passion and purpose to do things that make his life and the lives of those around him better. He knows that wasting time and energy on things he can't control or that don't affect his happiness is not a good use of his time and energy. The Stoic man has a strong sense of self-reliance and liberty when it comes to his dreams. He doesn't depend on other people to shape or support his goals. Instead, he trusts his own judgment and inner voice and uses his inner resources to reach his goals. This lack of dependence on others is not a rejection of their help. Rather, it's an acceptance of his power to choose the path of his life. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This quote encapsulates the Stoic belief that true happiness and fulfillment come from within and are shaped by the quality and nature of one's thoughts and perspectives. For the Stoic man, dreams are not just idle fantasies, but reflections of a thoughtful and purpose-driven mind. This is what the Stoic man's approach is all about. He looks at his goals through the lenses of realism and self-validation, trying to reach targets that will make him truly happy and are in line with his values. This calm and reflective approach to dreams shows how Stoics are determined to live a life based on thoughtful, purposeful, and self-sufficient principles. Stoicism, or any other theory that says a man should always keep his dreams from a woman, is not an idea that everyone agrees with or can use. Stoicism is a way of thinking that stresses self-control, logic, and sticking with things even when things get hard. Stoicism may tell people to manage their wants and hopes and focus on what they can control, but it doesn't say that people should hide their dreams or goals, especially when they are in a relationship. People in healthy relationships often tell each other about their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. This helps each other learn, grow, and support each other. Open conversation and respecting each other are important parts of a happy relationship. It's not good to keep your goals from your partner because it can cause problems, betrayal, and a lack of trust. Besides that, Stoicism values virtues like honesty and ethics. Some people think it goes against these ideals to hide important parts of yourself, like your dreams and goals. In the end, the idea that a man should always keep a woman's goals a secret and the other way around is not based on Stoicism or healthy relationship dynamics. Instead, fostering open conversation, building trust, and supporting each other's goals are more in line with Stoic ideas and make for happier relationships. Number 4. His feelings. Stoicism is a very deep philosophical field. The Stoic man's connection with his emotions and feelings is a complex study of self-awareness. Mindfulness and controlling your emotions on purpose are based on Stoic ideas that say you should understand things instead of trying to hide them. He deals with the complicated world of feelings in a balanced way, knowing that they affect his decisions and actions, despite the false belief that Stoicism requires controlling your emotions. The Stoic man doesn't try to hide his feelings. Instead, he welcomes them with a deep awareness and mindfulness. In the Stoic philosophy, emotions aren't seen as enemies to be defeated, but as signs that can tell you a lot about your inner state by recognizing and understanding them. The calm man learns more about himself and is better able to handle the challenges of life. The calm man is very aware of how his emotions and feelings might affect the decisions and actions he makes. Stoicism teaches that a wise person doesn't let their feelings get in the way of their thinking. Instead, they use their emotional intelligence to make smart decisions by keeping this balance. The Stoic man makes sure that his reactions to outside events are not based on fleeting emotions, but on a deliberate and well-thought-out thought process. Even though the Stoic man is aware of his emotions, he is careful about how he shows them to others. This choice is not an act of emotional indifference, but a genuine desire to show emotions in a way that is appropriate and helpful for those around him. He knows that Stoics also say that a Stoic man should hide some of his feelings from other people. This is because he wants to appear logical and calm. The goal is not to be emotionally detached, but to be in charge of his feelings and be able to choose when and how to show them. He wants to seem calm and logical so that he doesn't come across as irrational or overly emotional to other people. In the Stoic philosophy, feelings and emotions are not thrown away, but instead are refined and used to gain self-awareness and knowledge. The Stoic man's way of dealing with his feelings shows how well reason and emotion can work together. This creates a dynamic balance that leads to a life of balance, resilience, and careful engagement with the world. The Stoic man's way of dealing with emotions is a complex dance between self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and the smart expression of emotions. In the grand tapestry of Stoic virtues, his way of dealing with emotions is like a brushstroke that paints a picture of a thoughtful, logical, and emotionally intelligent person navigating the complicated landscapes of the human experience. It's smart to be careful and think carefully about comments like this. Being calm and in control of your emotions are important parts of Stoicism, but it's not healthy or true to say that a man should always keep his feelings from a woman or anyone else. Stoicism does say that people should be in charge of their feelings and not let them decide what they should do, but it also stresses how important it is to be honest, real, and communicate in a healthy way. Stoicism tells people to recognize their feelings, try to understand them, and deal with them in a sensible and helpful way. In a healthy partnership, both people should feel safe talking about their feelings and being open with each other. Hiding how you feel can cause misunderstandings, anger, and hurt the connection in the long run. Stoicism tells people not to hide their feelings, but to build mental strength, self-awareness, and the ability to deal with problems in a wise and honest way. This includes being able to show your feelings in a healthy way when it's suitable, instead of holding them back completely. Number 5. His secrets. Stoicism says that keeping personal secrets is a big part of being discreet, honoring others, and respecting yourself and others. Thinking this way affects how a man with a strong character shares his thoughts, especially when he is with a woman. Stoics don't keep secrets just because they want to. They do it because they know how important privacy is and how important it is to keep one's dignity. From a Stoic point of view, secrets are a reflection of one's inner life and personal experiences, so they are kept secret not because they might contain something bad or embarrassing, but because they protect one's privacy and personal dignity. A quiet man respects the privacy of his own thoughts and knows that not everyone, not even close friends and family, needs to know everything about his life. In Stoic thought, discretion is a very important virtue, and it leads how a Stoic man deals with other people. He doesn't spread rumors or lie about other people because he knows that doing so hurts their trust in him and makes him look bad. He doesn't shut up out of fear of being found out, but because he respects their and his own privacy. This privacy shows that he values personal space and keeping shared secrets safe. Honesty and dependability are very important to Stoics. A Stoic man is dedicated to keeping his word and staying honest. He doesn't lie or betray others because he knows that doing so would go against his morals and hurt their trust in him. His dedication to honor includes how he handles his own secrets as well as those given to him by others. The Stoic man also treats secrets with care and respect. He doesn't tell or use other people's secrets, not even his own. Instead, he protects them, knowing that doing so is a way of honoring their privacy and dignity. This protective stance isn't about hiding the truth or avoiding responsibility, but about protecting the sanctity of personal experiences and inner lives. For Stoics, keeping secrets safe means having a lot of self-trust. Stoic men tell their secrets to themselves because they trust their own judgment and discretion to know what should be shared and what should stay private. This doesn't mean they are lonely or don't trust other people. It just means they are sure they can handle their own inner world. Marcus Cicero. When the Stoic speaker said that the human soul is the most sacred thing in the world, he summed up this theory very well. For a Stoic man, this sentence shows how holy he thinks and feels inside, including his thoughts, feelings, experiences, and secrets. Honoring the sacredness of the human soul means keeping his secrets and respecting the secrets of others. To sum up, the Stoic man's approach to his secrets is a delicate balance of honor and respect. He values the privacy and dignity of his inner world, and knows that not all parts of his life need to be shared. Because of this, he is committed to discretion, trustworthiness, and protection of personal boundaries, demonstrates his respect for the sanctity of the human soul. Through this approach, the Stoic man embodies the principles of Stoicism, living a life characterized by integrity, respect for privacy, and the cultivation of a virtuous and dignified inner self. Stoicism is an old school of thought that stresses things like self-control, reason, and ethics. But it's important to remember that Stoicism doesn't say that men and women should act in certain ways, or that people should hide things from each other because of their gender. Stoic ideas about being honest and open in relationships may not agree with the idea of keeping secrets from a partner, no matter what gender they are. Stoicism says that people should believe and talk openly with their partners instead of hiding parts of who they are. Stoicism stresses how important it is to be honest and do the right thing. As part of this, being honest and real with others, even love partners, is important. Stoicism would probably stress how important it is to build trust in a relationship through honesty and mutual respect, instead of trying to keep secrets. Number 6. His pains. Within the framework of Stoic thought, the way a Stoic person deals with pain shows how strong, resilient, and determined they are to keep their inner peace. This point of view has a big effect on how he deals with and talks about his pain, especially when he's in a relationship with a woman. Stoics believe that pain is not something to hide or deny, but something to rise above suffering and face challenges with a calm and positive attitude. From a Stoic point of view, showing your pains in public, especially in a romantic relationship, could be seen as a sign of suffering and misery. The calm man, on the other hand, doesn't give up when things get hard. Instead, he keeps a serene and positive attitude, knowing that problems are a normal part of life. The Stoic man's response to pain is marked by endurance. Instead of letting pain control his mood or behavior, he faces it with patience and strength. Stoicism tells us that dealing with hard times with grace is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and resilience. The Stoic man believes in this theory and chooses to deal with his pains with endurance and surprisingly joy. When he is in pain, the Stoic man doesn't moan or groan. Instead, he handles it with grace and gratitude. This choice isn't based on a sadistic need to suffer. It's based on the knowledge that going through pain with grace can change a person. The Stoic man knows that pain, like everything else in life, can be a chance to grow and learn more about himself. The Stoic philosophy encourages a unique way of looking for relief from pain. A Stoic man doesn't actively seek comfort or immediate relief from his pains. Instead, he sees them as challenges that will make him stronger. By seeing them as chances to grow and be challenged, he turns the experience into a meaningful and life-changing part of his journey. Stoics don't show weakness or try to get sympathy when they're hurt. Instead, they see pain as a personal challenge and an opportunity for internal transformation. By not showing their pain, Stoics focus their energy on overcoming challenges with resilience and keeping a stoic and cheerful demeanor. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, said it best: "Pain is an opportunity for internal transformation." Tests of fire, gold and bad luck put brave men to the test. This comparison supports the Stoic view that problems and challenges, which are represented by the fire, are chances for people to show how strong and kind they really are. In essence, the Stoic man faces this test with bravery and strength. The Stoic man deals with pain by combining persistence, joy, and growth that changes things for the better. He embodies the Stoic ideals of inner strength and tranquility by facing challenges with resilience, keeping a positive attitude, and seeing pain as a chance to grow. By doing this, the Stoic man goes beyond suffering, handling the flow of life's challenges with grace and a firm commitment to personal development. Within the setting of Stoicism, his pains most likely refers to how Stoics deal with pain, discomfort, or any other kind of trouble. Stoicism is a school of thought that started in ancient Greece. Zeno of Citium created it in the early 3rd century BCE. It teaches people how to gain self-control and strength so they can get rid of negative feelings and focus on things they can control. In Stoicism, the idea of enduring pain or suffering is often linked to the idea of accepting what can't be changed and focused on how you react to things that happen around you. Stoics say that people should not let their feelings like fear, anger, or hopelessness take over their lives. Instead, they should stay calm and logical even when bad things happen. A popular quote from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus says, "People are not upset by things, but by how they think about them." This says it all about the Stoic idea that our peace of mind depends on how we think about and respond to events, not the events themselves. When someone uses the phrase "his pains" in a Stoic context, it could mean that they are feeling pain or discomfort, but are approaching it with a Stoic mindset, trying to stay calm and strong despite the problems they are facing. Number 7. His pleasures. Stoicism's view on pleasure is characterized by a strong call for balance and temperance. This point of view is especially important when it comes to a Stoic man's relationships and interactions with women. Stoicism, which focuses on virtue and self-mastery, gives us a more complex view of pleasure, seeing it as something that can lead to overindulgence and addiction if we don't approach it with care and control. Joy isn't bad in and of itself. It's how we relate to joy that needs careful thought. But he knows that letting his pleasures rule or corrupt him would go against the Stoic principles of self-discipline and reason, so he deals with his pleasures by using reason and moderation. The Stoic man enjoys pleasures, but always with an awareness that they are temporary and could take his attention away from more important things. This way of looking at pleasure isn't about deprivation or aesthetics. It's about finding a balanced and thoughtful way to include pleasure in your life. The Stoic man avoids excess and indulgence by being careful and restrained in his pursuit of pleasurable experiences. By doing this, he makes sure that his pleasures don't take over his life, but stay as things he can enjoy without sacrificing his principles or well-being. People who are Stoic believe that wanting and craving pleasures will lead to unhappiness and trouble. Because of this, they practice not attaching to pleasures. They don't let their wants cloud their judgment or stray from their moral compass. Instead, they use their pleasures with wisdom and virtue, making sure that they serve them instead of controlling them. Stoicism also stresses how important it is to not waste or abuse joys. The Stoic man values the quality of his experiences over the quantity of them. He wants to keep and improve his pleasures, not by indulging them, but by appreciating their worth and being fully present with them. This way of thinking helps him get real pleasure from his pleasures without falling into the trap of excess or hedonism when he's with women. The Stoic man stays true to the principle of self-regulation. He doesn't look for pleasures in other people, like relationships. Instead, he focuses on controlling his wants and needs from within, making sure they are in line with his Stoic values. Being able to control himself shows that he values personal purity and freedom. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher. Number 7. His pleasures. Stoicism's view on pleasure is characterized by a strong call for balance and temperance. This point of view is especially important when it comes to a Stoic man's relationships and interactions with women. Stoicism, which focuses on virtue and self-mastery, gives us a more complex view of pleasure, seeing it as something that can lead to overindulgence and addiction if we don't approach it with care and control. Joy isn't bad in and of itself. It's how we relate to joy that needs careful thought. But he knows that letting his pleasures rule or corrupt him would go against the Stoic principles of self-discipline and reason, so he deals with his pleasures by using reason and moderation. The Stoic man enjoys pleasures, but always with an awareness that they are temporary and could take his attention away from more important things. This way of looking at pleasure isn't about deprivation or aesthetics. It's about finding a balanced and thoughtful way to include pleasure in your life. The Stoic man avoids excess and indulgence by being careful and restrained in his pursuit of pleasurable experiences. By doing this, he makes sure that his pleasures don't take over his life, but stay as things he can enjoy without sacrificing his principles or well-being. People who are Stoic believe that wanting and craving pleasures will lead to unhappiness and trouble. Because of this, they practice not attaching to pleasures. They don't let their wants cloud their judgment or stray from their moral compass. Instead, they use their pleasures with wisdom and virtue, making sure that they serve them instead of controlling them. Stoicism also stresses how important it is to not waste or abuse joys. The Stoic man values the quality of his experiences over the quantity of them. He wants to keep and improve his pleasures, not by indulging them, but by appreciating their worth and being fully present with them. This way of thinking helps him get real pleasure from his pleasures without falling into the trap of excess or hedonism when he's with women. The Stoic man stays true to the principle of self-regulation. He doesn't look for pleasures in other people, like relationships. Instead, he focuses on controlling his wants and needs from within, making sure they are in line with his Stoic values. Being able to control himself shows that he values personal purity and freedom. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher. Number 8. His love. Stoicism has a unique way of looking at the idea of love that stresses rationality, independence, and being able to take care of yourself. A man who follows the rules of Stoicism approaches love in a way that doesn't involve too much connection or dependence. This point of view is very important for knowing how a Stoic man deals with relationships and feelings. Love isn't about losing yourself in someone else or becoming too attached to them. It's about loving with reason and freedom. He thinks of love as a feeling that should be guided by knowledge and understanding. This way of thinking about love helps him stay independent and self-sufficient even when he's in a relationship he loves. He doesn't let his love cloud his judgment or tie him down in a way that goes against his values or freedom. When loving another person, the Stoic man practices respect, dignity, and equality. He sees love as an exchange of care and respect between two people, not as a way to hold on to or control someone else. It's possible for both people in a relationship to be themselves and grow on their own. Also, the Stoic man doesn't demand or expect love in a way that puts stress on the relationship. Instead, he appreciates and cherishes the love he receives, knowing that love is a gift to be valued and not a right to be claimed. This way of thinking makes him more grateful and mindful in his relationships, which improves the quality of his relationships. The Stoic man doesn't feel the need to constantly show his love through words alone. He thinks that true love is shown through actions and behaviors that show care, understanding, and support. His love isn't just spoken, it's shown in the way he treats his partner every day. This philosophy was summed up by the Stoic emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius, who said, "The best way to get revenge is not to become like the wrongdoer." This quote shows the Stoic belief in staying good, even when faced with problems or negative influences. In the context of love, it means that a Stoic man stays true to his values and doesn't let his emotions make him act in destructive ways. So, the Stoic man's approach to love is a mix between emotional depth and logical understanding. He loves deeply and honestly, but he always knows how important it is to keep his independence, virtue, and good judgment. This balanced view of love helps him build deep and satisfying relationships while staying true to the basic ideas of Stoicism. This leads to a happier and more peaceful life. If I understand correctly, you are putting his love next to Stoicism. Let's look more closely at what each of these ideas means. His love. This most likely refers to the idea of love, especially in a religious or spiritual setting where his could mean a greater power like God. It means love, kindness, and maybe even divine or pure love. Philosopher Zeno of Citium started the school of thought called Stoicism in the early 3rd century BCE. It has its roots in ancient Greece. Stoicism encourages people to develop self-control and courage as a way to deal with negative feelings. It also encourages people to ignore what's going on around them and focus on their own actions and thoughts. The difference between these two ideas could lead you to think of a link between emotional warmth and strength, his love, and emotional distance and strength, Stoicism. Stoicism is about controlling your emotions, being strong, and not caring about what other people do. His love is about warmth, care, and relationship. It is important to note that this juxtaposition can mean very different things based on the situation. It could be looked at in the context of personal views, philosophical debates, or literary analysis, among other things. According to Stoicism, these are the 8 things that a man should always hide from a woman. This doesn't mean that he should lie to her or be cold or distant. It means that he should be honest and loyal, but also discreet and modest. It means that he should be warm and affectionate, but also logical and independent. It means that he should be a man and not a boy. By hiding these things from a woman, a man doesn't hide himself from her. It's not for everyone, but it works for us, the Stoics, and we want to help you join us. If you want to learn more about Stoicism and how it can improve your life, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be notified when we post new videos. In these videos, we'll talk more about how to use Stoicism in your daily life to be happy and at peace. Have a great day, and remember that all you need to be happy is yourself. Thanks for watching, and see you in next video. Bye.